in order for us to continue to make a change in our world, we need to be able to talk. We need to be able to say, hey, I don't agree with you, but I still love and respect you. And how do we work together on this issue in which to make humanity better?
Well, I'm certainly now a fan. And in that fandom, there's one question. At the very beginning, we started with what's challenging. You talked about making the jump from corporate to entrepreneur. And then you went and gave us a master class on literally how to go from most challenging condition and just surviving to mentally focus 5 minutes at a time, breathe, focus, fierce action, a tremendous formula that turned you into a master strategist. Take us back to that moment when you did finally make that commitment to go from corporate to entrepreneur. What were you feeling in that moment? And take us forward from, I think you said 7 years you've been on this mission. And then in 2020, you made another jump. So somewhere in that timeline, take us back to when you made that full-time jump, corporate to entrepreneur.
Yeah, it was actually same feeling, fear.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the cool thing is that that I've noticed in all these different evolutions continuous throughout my life. And you may have noticed this as well. And I think that many people do is just speaking and seeing that you're going through it. It's really, that stage where you have an opportunity or you have something that you're like, ooh, I'm really meant for this. And you're fearful, but you're really excited too.
Yes.
Kind of like a 50-50. And I say personally, it's truly for me, it's time to get silent. It's time to get in that space, where I practice my miracle morning and I know I'm being called for something. And that's exactly what happened. I remember it distinctly. It was Friday, the 13th, Doomsday, March 2020. And at that point, you could just see there's going to be this change coming. And to be frank, I was losing $20,000 a day, and it was just kept bleeding out. I'm like, what's happening? Is the whole world shutting down? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, wow, what am I going to do? And a lot of my colleagues and friends are going through the very same thing, and in that space of fear of the unknown, just taking that deep breath and remembering what is it you're truly meant for? What is it that is your unique gift that you can take, add resources to, and lean into? And what I did is so at that point, I'm an international speaker while also leading strategy for cancer care. Well, all the international speaking gigs were all closing down, obviously. And I took the leap after leaving the corporate world, and I took the leap to open my Acton. I'd been on the wait list for 2 years to open an Acton. Now, I'd done private school, I'd done Montessori, I did homeschool, and I did public school. And all of those options were not the right fit for my boys. And I discovered Acton through similar groups that you and I hang in. And one of my mentors said, Carolyn, why don't you open an Acton? So I got on the wait list, and through Holy Spirit, I was gifted the opportunity 2 years after being waitlist and opened up right in the middle of a pandemic. And it's been an absolute brilliant journey in which to create the hero's journey for our children. And I have the only STEM private entrepreneurial and trade school in Wisconsin.
And your children, do they get the opportunity to go there?
Yes.
They do. Awesome.
And we have a brilliant children's business fair every year now. Second year, first year was 60 children. And what they do is they create their own little businesses, and parents cannot help. And it's brilliant. It's so wonderful to see their little eyes light up. And then for last year with 60 little entrepreneurs, this year will be 150 little entrepreneurs creating their own businesses, having their own business plan, and explaining how they're going to also give back to their community, which is key in creating generational self-sufficiency.
So you're not just saying these words, you have taken the entrepreneurial leap to create generational self-sufficiency through teaching our kids from the very beginning. And I honor you for that. I have some friends of mine who we've mentioned that they have their kids go to Acton's, and they love it. The kids are blossoming into civic-minded entrepreneurs. And I just love the way that this is unfolding right in front of us. In fact, I did not know that yours were in Wisconsin. And I have people in my groups whose kids are in Acton in Wisconsin. It's probably even in your school. So this is amazing to hear. Wow. Well, so tell us a little bit more about what's happening right now and what might be happening next with your Actons, with your other business. Just where are you going? Where are you leading us?
Yeah, thank you. I'm on a mission for generational self-sufficiency, and that includes education, and that includes serving our community. And with that, my one of my latest books is academic education, academic and entrepreneur education. So that's a theory around: is an entrepreneur created through education, or is an entrepreneur created through life skills? And the theory that I argue is that it's both. How do we find what we're meant for? How do we find what our skills are? And then how do we go out and reach those, grab those resources, be it through traditional education, through mentors, through hands-on education, and creating our next generation of entrepreneurs? Because our country, we were founded on about 73% entrepreneurs, and now that statistic is now 33%. However, there's a shift. And how do we make it or create a way for our next generation to be prepared for this shift? And times are different. We deserve different. So I feel passionately about also reversing adverse childhood experience scores with resilience. So adverse childhood experience scores state that with a higher adverse childhood experience score, which is it's a study out of the CDC and Kaiser Permanente, if you want more information on it. But the higher the score, the higher likelihood you are to create cancer in your body or heart disease. We have an opportunity to combat that epidemic and help save our current generation and also our future generation. So that's my mission, is to be able to heal our communities from the inside out while creating generational self-sufficiency. And doing that through my Fierce Foundation, which is a nonprofit 501c3, and providing education through my Acton, that has an entrepreneurial and trades twist to it.
Wow. Amazing. Well, so in helping to serve future generations while we're doing it now and serving future generations, what might a day in the life of Carolyn look like when you're managing Actons and your foundation and being a mom? What does a day in the life look like as someone who's impacting the world like this?
Well, what's fun is connecting with people like you, being able to find connection with other heart-centered, like-minded humans, because it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a community to make an impact. And so in any given day, I could be connecting, I could be facilitating conversation, collaborating. So I collaborate with Case Western Reserve in Ohio through an exchange program, facilitating hard conversations in order for us to continue to make a change in our world. We need to be able to talk. We need to be able to say, hey, I don't agree with you, but I still love and respect you. And how do we work together on this issue in which to make humanity better? And it will take people that can use, just like in our Acton, we use a Socratic method where we ask questions, and we ask questions in which to seek to understand, not rebuttal. And wouldn't that be brilliant if we had a future generation of children who learned how to have conversation, ask questions in which to understand, so that, we might not see eye to eye, but we can come together as a unit, as a community in which to make a change for the better, so that at the end of our journey, we left our world a little bit better.